Somebody come get 'em. They're too old for TikTok.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for TikTok. It's a week after Thanksgiving. Catalina, how was your Thanksgiving? You were home with your parents, right?
Yeah, my Thanksgiving was fine. It was nice. We went to eat at a restaurant. The reservations that my mom was able to choose between were either 11 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. And so we went at 11 a.m.
Oh my God, you had your Thanksgiving meal at 11 a.m.?
You didn't? I texted about this.
I don't recall you telling me about that. That's crazy early.
Yeah.
That's breakfast.
It was Thanksgiving brunch. I had a mimosa. It was the most hardcore way to start your day. Just like slamming a food. And then the problem is,
what do you do the rest of the day?
Exactly. And we missed the parade. I felt bad because I think my mom was like, oh, I don't know. She was like, it was the only reservation and we weren't about to go at 6:30 because then we would be like driving like where my parents live. You're like driving like through the river and the woods.
Through the river?
Well, like over the river and through the woods.
What is it, a duck tour? Your car can become a boat?
Well, my parents did not want to go to Thanksgiving dinner after dark, so it was Thanksgiving brunch.
Wow.
We were at a very cute place, though, but it's like if you take the cooking part out of Thanksgiving, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing all day? Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Are you watching TikToks?
I watched some TikToks, but I put up the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I labored.
You labored.
And then we had to eat dinner, and I was like, wait, like we have no dinner plan.
Then you're hungry. Yeah.
And so my mom had these Cornish hens. So I made Cornish hens. And then I was trying to make like a pan gravy, and I was using this baking dish my mom had on the pan, like the normal, not the normal, but the style where you like take it out of the oven, old school. You like take it out of the oven and you just put it directly on the stove and you like make your gravy that way. But that pan cannot go on the stove, so it just exploded.
You exploded one of your mother's pans? She must have been really thrilled.
She wasn't that mad, but I bought her a new one. I got it sent to the house.
Nice.
The problem is that she had another similar dish, like baking dish, that my uncle broke this summer. So it's been a bad year for the baking dishes.
The baking dishes.
What about you, Dina? How was your Thanksgiving?
Can we go back to you had Cornish hen and turkey on the same day? I feel like that's a lot of poultry to have.
Gains. Lean white meats, baby.
There you go.
I'm ripped.
My Thanksgiving was good. It was just the immediate fam, and my friend Ingie came over. It was great. And, you know, my favorite dish is just sweet potato pie in a mini pie crust. Put a bunch of marshmallow on it. Oh, it's just so good. I also find that Thanksgiving time is a good time for TikTok because when I'm full, all I want to do is sit on the couch and just watch TikToks. So that's what I did. But unfortunately, my TikTok time is cut short because I have a lot of wedding things to do. So in years prior, I'd be watching many more TikToks. But this wedding planning really is getting in the way of just what I like to do, which is just lounge watch TikToks.
You did also eat s'mores.
Yes, we made s'mores on the barbecue, I love s'mores. There's a theme here. I love anything with a marshmallow.
Wow, yeah, you're really marshmallow forward. I had a very disgusting dessert on Thanksgiving, actually.
From the restaurant?
Yeah, well, they had all different types of dessert. The restaurant food was actually quite nice, and that restaurant is really cute. We should go there. I've been really desiring, this is because of TikTok, I've been really desiring like a cozy London trip where we like sit in a pub and like, I don't know, it's raining.
Wear sweaters.
Yeah, and just like, you know, just have like a really cozy time, eat like a toad in the hole or whatever.
What's a toad in the hole?
It's something we used to have at that weird drug front that I used to work at, the Clerkenwell.
The restaurant. Okay.
It's like what's that dough? Like popover dough, and there's a sausage baked in it.
Oh, that sounds good.
And you serve it with mashed potatoes. Yeah, so we just need to like go to London, but this place sort of was approximating that in a way. It had the cozy vibe going, very New England. I was like, why go to England if you can bring England to you? Am I right? We have England at home. Literally.
The Northeast.
But so they had this dessert buffet, and some of the desserts were really nice. There was like a bread pudding, there were some pies, the pumpkin pie was good, and there was this chocolate mousse cake, and I don't know why, it just tasted nasty. It was like sour.
Sometimes when you get a bad chocolate mousse, it's horrible. You know what I always want instead of a chocolate mousse is a chocolate lava cake. Like those can't be bad. If you're taking the time.
They can be bad.
I don't know. I feel like a mousse is more inclined to be bad than a lava.
You know, we actually had the option to get lava cakes at our welcome party in Argentina, but it was like a big upcharge.
Oh, because they take so much time and effort.
Labor intensive. So we had flan. Sorry.
You know, I used to not like flan, but it's because the first time I had flan, it was bad. But now I love flan.
It also depends on the flan that you have. Like, there's different types of flans, and some flans are good and some flans are bad. In the way that, imagine if the chocolate mousse cake that I had was the only chocolate mousse I'd ever had. I would have cried. But the people next to us at the table looked over, and the lady goes, "You didn't like the cake either." Also, it was like 11:45 in the morning.
Too early for chocolate mousse.
Actually, no, we got kicked out because they have seating times. And the waitress was like, just so you know, like, our next seating is, because it's like an hour and a half seating. She's like, our next seating is in 15 minutes. And we were like, all right, we're going.
Well, I feel like since we're on the topic of food, we should skip to our food section for TikTok and just go straight to it, because you were talking about disgusting desserts, and this video is actually a perfect transition. It's a video by Violet Newt.
Hey, I'm Jennifer, and I brought the pineapples, mayonnaise, and cheese.
What do you mean? What do you mean you brought the pineapples, mayonnaise, and cheese? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm not following. I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean? You brought the pineapples, mayonnaise, and cheese. What are you talking about? Jennifer, what timeline are you in? Where are you? Did I shift dimensions? Are there two Earths? Are there two internets? Did I log into the internet where cheese is currency? Because I just want to know. I'm just curious. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have government-mandated dessert sandwiches? Is that how it works on your Earth? Is everyone mandated to eat one mustard marshmallow sandwich a day? I'm just asking. I don't know the ways of your people.
The voice on here is very strange, and like on the TikTok she uses captions, but it's a stitch, and she's obviously this creator saying like, this is hideous. Whoever would come up with pineapple, mayonnaise, and cheese?
Okay, so yes, disgusting, and I sent it to you, but then I just remembered there is a Southern specialty, which is, I mean, it's to me equally disgusting. It's called pear salad, and it's pear slices, and I think it might be like
Mayo.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
yeah,
but I'm trying to, it's canned pears, mayonnaise, shredded cheese, and a maraschino cherry.
This is so disgusting. It reminds me of those Jell-O molds too that have like sour cream. Those are good though. I kind of like a Jell-O mold with anything in it.
An ambrosia salad.
But and I love pineapple. I don't think I would do this. And I would eat a lot, but I don't think I could stomach this combination.
There's something about a scoop of mayo that's like unmixed that is what is sending me over the edge with this. But I think this was a person making their version of Southern pear salad, but with pineapple.
I've been getting videos about Japan food because I'm studying for a trip to Japan.
So have I, and I'm sending them to you.
Yes. And there is a drink in Japan that's just straight up mayonnaise drink. And so I see all these like Americans trying it, and obviously they're not liking it. I mean, I guess if you love mayonnaise, but just drinking mayonnaise, it sounds disgusting.
Well, you know that in Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan, where did your brother go?
Kazakhstan.
They have a drink that's like horse milk.
Mare
milk. And yesterday I was talking about that with some people, and I was like, you know that drink? It's like horse semen.
They probably thought you were very normal.
Dina, when you go to Japan, you have to go to the QP Mayo Factory. I saw a TikTok of a girl going to the QP Mayo Factory, and it looked so fun.
What's that? A mayonnaise factory?
You don't know what QP Mayo is?
No, what is it?
Oh my God.
What is it? Tell me.
Uncultured swine.
Oh my God.
QP
Call
Mayo
you
is like
swine.
very famous Japanese mayo. It comes in that cute little squeezy bottle.
Okay, is that the company that's making the mayonnaise drinks too that I've been seeing then? Maybe.
Mayo. There's another brand that's not QP. No, I guess QP's the most famous one.
Oh, wow. I'm looking it up and it's spelled Kewpie.
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
you
it
know
is.
what? Our friend of the pod, Karen, in supply chain, used to work for Hellman's Mayonnaise.
Oh.
So I was very allegiant? What do you call it?
Loyal
to Hellman's.
Well, actually, Karen and I got in a verbal altercation over mayonnaise during your bachelorette trip because, sorry, not sorry, Duke's is better than Hellman's. I said what I said.
Well, she doesn't work with Hellman's
And
anymore,
we know
so
Karen
it's
is a
okay.
puncher. She's going to punch me in the face.
Yeah, she's going to beat us up. Let's stop talking about her.
I have one more food comment to make a la this cheese and mayonnaise thing, which is that a long time ago, a friend of mine told me this story about her family member that whenever they did like a family gathering, she would bring her special cauliflower. And her special cauliflower was a head of cauliflower slathered in mayo with like cheddar cheese slices on
So
it.
all white.
And then microwaved.
Ew. That also must have stunk up the house or apartment in the microwave. That's disgusting.
I
Oh,
know.
I can smell it now. I want to vomit.
And then I couldn't remember who had told me this, so I posted on Facebook. I was like,
what year was this?
probably like 2018.
Oh, God.
I was like, who? It's really like you don't have to scroll that far in my Facebook to see me posting this. And I was like,
I'm gonna look.
who was the person who told me about their aunt's special mayo? And the person,
Who was it?
I can't tell because she messaged me and she was like, it was my aunt. I just like don't want to put her on blast on Facebook, but so many people were commenting. Oh my God. So good. We do have another food on TikTok that is not disgusting.
Yeah, it's a video by Rachel
In a real way.
in a real way.
Wow, Dina. Who is a creator that I follow who's like a big creator for me. I don't know why, but I realized like she's actually not. I mean, she's should put her in like content creator spotlight.
Yeah, I was gonna say she always comes up on my For You page. She's in New York, and she's just like always walking on the street, just speaking her mind. And it's always great.
Yeah, she does like lifestyle content. I think she came across my page first because she was responding to all the like office siren looks.
Oh,
and
yes.
She's like
Gen
don't
wear these outfits to the office.
But she's like Gen Z, like finance or some sort of something. And she's really into like Pilates and Pilates adjacent workouts. And apparently this.
The most affordable healthy lunch is the Chipotle Kids Bowl. You're going to ask to get it without tortillas and then 3 sides. One of your sides needs to be protein. It is a smaller portion than normal. And then I do prefer rice. You could do a vegetable if you wanted no carbs. And then I get the normal salsa. And then because I asked for no tortillas, I ask them for lettuce. And then I get the chips as a side, which is included. And then I'm just going to crunch these up. And then they give you a drink. I prefer apple juice. Apple juice is my go-to drink. I don't think we talk about it enough. If I'm on an airplane, I'm getting apple juice because I want to avoid the ice, or maybe seltzer if I'm really feeling queasy. But this is the meal. I think in New York City it might be $8 instead of $6, but you can't really beat this much food for $6. And is this going to be like the most filling thing ever? No, but sometimes I don't want a really aggressively filling lunch because I'm going to fall asleep at my desk afterwards. So go forth and do what you will with this information. And they never give you a hard time about being over the age of 12. There's nothing even on the sign that says you need to be 12. So good luck.
So here's my thing about, Chipotle. Mm-hmm. Gives me diarrhea. I can't have it. And there's also cilantro in the rice. So I'm anti-Chipotle. But, however, this is a great idea. If I was into it, and it gave me ideas for, someone was saying kava also as a kid's meal. So like it gave me other ideas. Like this is really smart.
I have a soft spot for Chipotle. I love cilantro, as you know. When I was really into like my protein count,
your macros.
I became into Chipotle. It's a place that's like really, even though it's somewhere you can obviously overeat very easily, it's also a place that you can really hit your macros.
Jesus.
But I don't go to Chipotle in my regular life, and I feel like in New York City there's so many other options.
Yeah.
That although I think Chipotle, and this is sort of speaks to her point in the video where you like don't want a food coma midday, it's like just bland enough that it's not, if you ate like really nice Mexican food at midday, like actual Mexican food at midday, depending on what you ate, it might, I don't know, you might be
get tired.
more tired. Maybe
It's
not,
like when
though.
you have your Thanksgiving meal at 11 a.m., you're going to need a nap after.
Well, that in no way was light eating. But the thing about Chipotle, it's basically you're eating like grilled chicken breast and lettuce. That's not Mexican food. That's just like Mexican. It's the La Croix
Adjacent.
of Mexican food.
Yeah.
But the cava one is what really interested me, although we don't have cava here, so
Oh my God. We should open a franchise in Ohio.
they
It'll be great.
they just opened a Sweet Green.
Well, you know how I'm really hit or miss with sweet green in my phases. I'm actually was in a sweet green phase the past 2 months, but that means I won't eat it for another 6 months.
I would like the listeners of the pod to know that. Well, actually, I just think this is a sign of living in New York City. When I go to New York, I'm like, yes, every food in the world. I'm so excited. I can get anything. And when Dina and I returned from Curacao and we were going to get dinner, Dina wanted a sandwich.
I love a good sandwich, though, because I live here and I could get anything whenever
That's
I
what
want.
I said. It's a testament to living in New York. Although
Yeah.
there's a very good grinder place here called Wario's Beef and Pork that we'll go to when you come back.
The word grinder as a sandwich, it just is
hoagie,
off-putting to me.
Sub.
Hoagie's better. Sub is better. Okay. I think we should move on. That's enough about food. Let's go to Wicked, because Wicked, I think until a year from now, it'll still be on every episode because it's just always going to be on my For You page and I'm always going to love it. And I would like to see the movie again. Ashley, friend of the pod, is going today. I'm sad I couldn't go with her, but I want to hear her review. Here's a video by Hanra Stoland, and it cuts between Wicked and the Jersey Shore.
Linda, is it true you were her friend?
Are you friends with her? Let me know now. Are you friends with her?
What? Is it true you were her friend?
Are you friends with her?
This is such a good comparison. I mean, it really is giving off the same vibes with Sam from Jersey Shore.
Sammy Sweetheart.
Yeah, Sammy Sweetheart and the Wicked clip.
Yeah, I am so deep on Wicked TikTok right now. It's every other video.
It's gotten to you later than it's gotten to me. Like mine started months ago and yours is like piling up now.
Mine's like reactions. And one thing that I'm noticing is people are yelling at each other. And this is just sort of like a symptom of superficial internet discourse these days, where people are like, you can't call plot points an Easter egg.
Yeah.
People are like, the Easter egg. And like, it's like, that's not an Easter egg. That's like world building. That's part of the plot. Like an Easter egg is like when she takes the red shoes and hits them together 3 times. That's an Easter egg. But like main plot points are not Easter eggs. That's just called the plot.
The plot, yeah. I am also now on Ethan Slater talk because ever since he went on the Jennifer Hudson show and they did the song tunnel with him, Ethan Slater, you know that.
I was just listening to an episode of Who Weekly that talks about how like all these shows have to come up with their gimmick, and so Jennifer Hudson says they're trying really hard with the song tunnel.
So everyone is copying Ethan Slater as he like walked out. So I've seen so many of these parody videos of people pretending to be Ethan Slater. And I've also seen a lot of videos that are kind of protecting him and like saying he got a bad rap when they first started dating with the cheating and everything. And it's so hard for him, blah, blah, blah. I don't mind it. I'm here for Ethan Slater talk. I don't know how I feel about him. I want to get to know him personally, but that won't happen.
It's not doing him any favors that his character is Bach.
Yeah, of course not.
Also, I was just on TikTok before we recorded and started seeing this whole thing about Ariana Grande rumors that she has been on again, off again, secretly hooking up with Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't see that.
And I
That's
was like,
very weird.
what side of TikTok am I on right now? Oh my God.
I did
Lord.
see that Ariana and Ethan and Frankie Grande went to see Wicked with their 99-year-old grandmother.
I saw
and Frankie
that.
was like not Frankie, Ethan was taking photos of them together. Speaking of Frankie, I've seen a lot of TikTok saying that Ethan and Frankie are like identical. So she's basically dating someone who looks just like her brother.
I don't think they're identical.
They do. There's eerie similarities.
Whatever.
Okay, let's move on. On my For You page this week, very eclectic content, but this really is a video very much targeted towards me. It's a video by Noni_solfeggio.
Roller coasters were invented to keep people out of breath. In 1880, Mr. Thompson built the first roller coaster in the most immoral place he could think of. Miami? Coney Island, Coney Island, Coney Island. Coney Island was supposed to keep people out of breath. Next time you ride a roller coaster, just know it kept you out of breath. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
So it's about roller coasters and Coney Island.
Roller coasters.
Roller coasters and Coney Islands. And
brothels.
Yeah, and brothels. And I actually did study this when I studied the history of Coney Island. And yeah, it's true.
This creator does a lot of educational videos like this in this style, which is
I love it.
pretty fun. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. I did not know the brothel facts, so I'm happy
Learning
to now
on
know
TikTok.
them. Learning on TikTok.
Okay, the next video on my For You page is one of the most unhinged stories I've ever seen. It's by Kaylee the Tooth Fairy.
I had a really bad public interaction with a little person today, and I just feel like I need to get on here and tell you guys before they do, because I'm not getting canceled for this shit. I was at the airport, walking to the terminals. It's a long ass walk to the terminals, okay? I see a little person. They look like they're in a hurry. They look like they're trying to walk as fast as they possibly can, and they're struggling, falling behind the rest of the people. And I looked at them and I thought, damn, if I were them, I would really want to ride on someone's suitcase. Fuck it. I want to ride on people's suitcases, and I'm not even a little person. I'm just fucking lazy. Every time I see someone with a big suitcase, I think, I wish I could ask them if I could just sit on it. Like, I don't know. Sorry if that's weird. Like, I just think it sounds fun, okay? And, like I said, I'm lazy. And, like, whatever. I'm not saying they're lazy. I'm just saying, like... So I was like, what the hell? And I basically went up to them and I was like, hey, do you want to ride on my suitcase? I'll take you to your terminal. They got so offended and so mad at me. I was not expecting that reaction. Like, I thought maybe we could make a core memory together. Maybe we could have fun. Maybe we could be friends. Like... sorry you are allergic to fun. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, so I just don't want anybody to say, like, I was making fun of a little person or, like, patronizing a little, because, like, dead ass, I would have ran them to their terminal on my suitcase and we would have been laughing and having a great time. Like, that's how it went in my head before I asked them. In my head, I was picturing it to be, like, a really fun thing. Anyways, like I said, nothing against little people. I would do anything for a stranger. And I don't even think, like, oh, they might take offense to this, because I don't have bad intentions with people, so I just automatically assume, like, everything's gonna be chill. And I was wrong. So, I don't know. If you're a little person and you're watching this, like, is that really that bad? Were they overreacting? Am I a horrible person for asking that? Like... But also, if you're a little person and you ever see me at the airport, don't hesitate to ask to ride my suitcase. Why is that so weird? Like, what's the worst that could happen? Oh no, people are pointing or laughing or staring. Fuck them. Like, literally fuck them. They're all dumbasses. They're all losers. They don't get to ride someone's suitcase. I would have had your back. And you ruined something that could have been great. Anyways.
Okay, I went to the comments and I didn't know what to expect. I opened them and I thought, ooh, people are going to really like not be into this, or they would go the other way and they would like kind of side with her. And it was sort of very neutral. The comment section was very neutral. It wasn't like you did anything wrong. It was just kind of like, this is funny. Also, but like, why the fuck did you ask this person? Like, you also could have just not said anything.
I think it was pretty critical. It wasn't like you're a terrible person and should die critical, but it was like these are the types of things you don't say to people in public. And then there were some people who were like literally trying to be like educating her and being like, I need to find the comment in particular. Okay, so this one person said, I keep reminding myself of the phrase impact over intention to remind myself, even if I know I have good intentions, the impact for the other person matters. And so that was sort of like someone trying to educate her in a way that was showing like, you might have seen the scenario in this way, but this is why someone on the other side would have a very different perception. I mean, I think that's horrific, and like, oh my god, you clearly have no anxiety whatsoever, because can you imagine? I
can't imagine. I just cannot imagine asking someone. But then like thinking about it, she says like, what a fun core memory they could have created, and like, that's a scene in a movie, like that's not real life.
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah, and that's also like so infantilizing. Like, it's basically you're like super patronizing and super infantilizing, being like, you want to ride? I mean, I would love to ride on my friend's suitcase, but you have like, you trust that person, you know that person, you have some sort of like level of intimacy with that person, and you can make perhaps off-color jokes with that person, whereas you can't just like go up to a stranger and say a horrific joke that's at their expense, although clearly this girl didn't think of it as a joke. She thought that she was just being like, LOL.
Also is this story made up also?
Probably.
It probably is for like the comedy, or not the comedy, the like clickbait of it all.
Of course. Although I kind of, when I was watching it, would expect it to be a little bit more of like rage bait than it was.
That's what I was thinking, like rage bait. Yeah, like is she doing it for rage bait? Anyway, very unhinged.
Especially
asked a lot of questions.
For having been on the receiving end of us saying something that was more like what the time that we were like anti-bare feet in restaurants, and people are like, this is ableist, this is blah blah blah, and I'm like, this person is clearly being extremely ableist in this, and people are not coming for her. So there was like something about the delivery that I think she did not land on that side, where she was very much like,
she was also asking like, is this okay? I'm trying to learn. So maybe approaching it in that way.
My God. Lord.
Okay, let's move on. Catalina, what's been on your For You page?
Well, I have an announcement, and it's that I'm famous now.
Tell us why.
I feel like we should have started the episode with this. I should have been like, listen, I'm done. I am a TikTok
okay, I'm sorry.
Celebrity now.
Because your TikTok comment got a lot of likes. Yeah. That's great, Catalina.
I'm on a power trip. So last night I was just sitting on my computer doing my hand computer, my
handheld device, my Palm Pilot,
just doing what one does, scrolling, watching Love Island, and I came across this video by Teffy about millennial fashion and how it's having a renaissance.
I'm only going to say this more than once and less than 1,000 times. Before you criticize a millennial, the way they walk, the way they talk, make sure you're not dressed like me at 13. Just saying. Don't open your mouth and tell me something's chuggy when you're on Depop fighting for something that I wore to my first day of 10th grade. Okay? Cute low rise. All right? Millennials this, millennials that. You're looking at an ex-Juicy Couture employee. I walked around for a decade with Juicy bejeweled across my ass. Please watch your tone when you talk to me. Your Pinterest looks just like me in middle school. Watch your tone, watch your volume. Thank you.
And also this video really resonated with me because obviously I've been noticing this. We wore fake Juicy jumpsuits to your bachelorette party. People thought we were a sports team. I'm like, what sport do you think we play? And then I also, when I was at the airport in LaGuardia on my way back to Ohio, there was a guy wearing Jinko jeans with a chain, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's back. The 90s are back.
Like they've been back, but there's like a level to which they're back now that's really funny. And so I commented because I had seen a TikTok earlier this year of this girl talking about wanting to get these really cute vintage Charlotte Russe shorts. And that sentence like should never be uttered. So I commented that vintage Charlotte Russe is diabolical. And I would just like to check how many likes my comment currently has, because I've never.
And also, besides the amounts of likes, Teffy herself replied back to the comment.
Yes.
So read what she replied back.
I said, vintage Charlotte Russe is diabolical. And it's the #1 comment right now with 29.5 thousand likes. And she said, but were they in a peplum top driving to the club blasting Winter Gordon? Negativo, brother. Which led me down a rabbit hole of like looking at Winter Gordon videos and listening to some of those songs.
I gotta say, Catalina, I don't know Charlotte Russe.
What?
I had to look it up.
Are you joking?
No, of course I know Juicy. Juicy, of course.
This is
Charlotte Russe. What is that?
Dina, your privilege is showing.
What is Charlotte Russe?
Charlotte Russe was like the sheen of the 2000s.
Was it Charlotte in the magazine?
Russe, oh my God. It was it was like Forever 21, but sexier and a little more adult.
I know Forever 21.
Dina, you don't know what Charlotte Russe is?
I didn't wear sexy clothes.
I mean, but I'm just thinking, you were shopping at richer people's stores because Charlotte Russe was very like Forever 21 price point. It was the sheen of the 2000s.
I was shopping at Forever 21.
Well, across
Not
the way,
Russe.
if you wanted to get some leopard print,
I never
business
wanted
casual,
to get that.
it was there for you. Really? You never shopped at Charlotte Russe?
Don't recall. That name does not ring a bell.
Did you Google it?
Yeah, I just looked it up, and it's closed.
Oh my God. I can't believe you never shopped. I mean, I can believe you never shopped at Charlotte Russe because you were too busy shopping at Bloomingdale's, or rather, your mom was buying you clothes at Bloomingdale's and handing them to you to put on. But when I would go to the Meriden Mall and do my laps with my friends, I would go to Charlotte Russe and pick out like a weirdly fabric. It was sheen. It was like a tube top.
Speaking of sheen, I need to tell a story from The Bachelorette where Catalina shows up for our beach day wearing trousers that have suspenders on them.
Okay.
And they're oversized. Let me finish. She's wearing a t-shirt over her bathing suit.
I was not wearing a t-shirt.
It was a tight shirt.
I was wearing a tank top.
A tight tank top. And then an oversized like linen floral shirt over that. However, the trouser with the suspenders were just like the most insane thing.
I think we called them
to a beach day.
Overalls,
but they didn't look like overalls. But anyway, and Catalina's like, yeah, they're like one of one. Like someone in Brooklyn made them, some hipster.
No, I said, this is erasure. I said, my friend found them at the Goodwill bins. And I'm pretty sure they're just like handmade because she's always finding weird shit that people handmade.
Yeah, you said handmade by someone in Brooklyn.
Yeah, because this is literally what someone in Brooklyn would wear.
Okay, and then you look at the tag and it's freaking Sheen 2X curvy.
It was comfortable and y'all are haters.
I mean, we need to find a picture of your outfit.
There are pictures. Alina wouldn't stop taking them of me.
Me and Alina tried to find one the other day and we couldn't find one. So someone else has
Alina
them.
took them of me because she posted
she
one.
She couldn't find them.
Well, they're probably
anyway,
in the group.
We'll find them.
They're in the group.
Wow,
so you've been talking about my outfit?
Your outfit? That outfit will always be spoken about. Okay.
Can I just say one more thing?
Russe. Sure.
I'd do it again.
I know you would. That's what makes you great. Okay.
You're never going to hold me down.
Never gonna give me
also
up,
at brunch there was a much more supportive side of the table of my outfit,
and I landed in the middle.
Yeah, but now I know you were shit talking me.
I told you. I mean, anyway, we have to move on. Okay, we've created a new section this week and it's called sports because we're so sporty. So there are two TikToks, two sports things we need to talk about.
And I found both of them because I am most sport.
You're most sport. The first is Ohio football. So obviously you're getting this because you live in Ohio and you work for the Ohio State University and you love, what are they called? The football team?
The Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes.
The Ohio State butt
Bookies.
guys. The butt guys.
There's a video by Jack Mack Barstool.
It's literally Barstool Sports, Cena.
Yeah, but this is Jack Mack of Barstool.
Everything about today's Ohio State-Michigan game is defined by the statement, the European mind cannot comprehend college football, because what went down today in the Horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio, was pure cinema, and you couldn't have scripted it any better. I could do 4 hours on this, but let's try to keep this under 2 minutes or so, because the 19.5-point favorite Ohio State Buckeyes, who said all year, don't worry, Michigan, it's coming this year. We may have lost the last 3, but it's coming this year. They lost at home. They said, and I quote, they had the most talented roster in the history of college football. They spent tens of millions of dollars to build this roster, just so their coach that was born on third base, Ryan Day, could finally beat Michigan. Finally. And today, the team that they have claimed over the past 3 years cheated against them. That's the only way they won. A team with a walk-on quarterback as their starting quarterback. A walk-on quarterback that beat cancer just 2 years ago. He beat them in their home. And this team, the most expensive team in the history of college football, they showed more fight after the game than during it. They were so offended. They weren't offended enough during the game to win, but they were so offended that Michigan would put their flag on the field that they needed to make sure that wasn't going to happen. And Jack Sawyer, the defensive end, number 33, the guy who's been talking trash all year, his biggest moment in his 4 years at Ohio State against Michigan was ripping the flag off. That was his biggest moment in his career. And things got so out of control that the police maced Michigan players.
Okay, and then, this was fine. This is like explained, whatever.
It also turns into an ad at the end. It's like, buy our t-shirts.
Yeah, I found this video by Lucy_Rodin much more interesting. It's really long, so I won't play the whole thing, but here's part of it.
I am a credentialed media member who is working the Ohio State-Michigan game, and I was on the field for the fight. Here is my perspective of what happened. So we were down on the field during the fourth quarter, and obviously by the end of the game, we knew Michigan was going to win. So at the end of the game, all the Michigan players ran over to the Michigan band, cheerleaders in the small fan section there, and were celebrating as they should, and they got the Michigan flag. They took the flag and went back to midfield and tried to plant it, which is not atypical for a rivalry game or a crazy upset like that. But all the Ohio State players were still on the field, which, by the way, at that point, the game had been over for a couple minutes. So they go to plant the flag, and it just ensues this crazy fight. Now, it wasn't this big fight where it's everybody going all at once, kind of like a movie scene. It was 15 different little fights happening at one time. And the Ohio State player, I believe Jack Sawyer, took the flag out and tried to, take the flag out of the field. And it was just a madhouse. Everybody was fighting. There were coaches, players. The coaches were not fighting. They were trying to, pull stuff apart. But it was crazy. We saw student assistants get tackled to the ground. There were a lot of players fighting, but there were also random people involved. It was crazy. So I'm 10 yards back this whole time. My photographer, she is right there. And so we kind of felt things, we knew shit was crazy, but things had calmed down a little bit. And then I see these Michigan players run up right next to us, and one of them starts throwing up. And my first thought was oh my God, hard-fought game, long game, stressful situation, 22 degrees outside, he's throwing up. And then a bunch of other Michigan players start running up to where we are, and they're all crying. And I'm holy shit, did they get pepper sprayed?
In the end, basically, she's saying the pepper spray was insane. She said Michigan players were just coming up and rubbing their eyes and vomiting. Cops started spraying pepper spray for, it seemed no good apparent reason. I mean, football's crazy. I don't know.
I thought it was funny that in the Barstool Sports video, he was the European mind can't comprehend. It's my brother in Christ, Europeans are football hooligans.
Oh,
the
yeah,
European mind
violence
can deeply comprehend this.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen when me, you, and Ashley went to the football game. I would have been so scared. I would have run out.
The fighting wasn't in the stands. It was on
I
the
know,
field.
but it still would have scared me. I like the marching band though.
Yeah,
I hope they're okay.
That was fine. I was learning a lot about Ohio State football, and it was a pretty horrific loss for them. They were like really good, I guess, and then they lost to Michigan for the 4th year in a row. And
wow.
They got on home field as well.
Tragique. Let's move on to a video by Philip Penyango.
Oh, I just want to say one more thing about Ohio State, which is people in the comments like overwhelmingly hate Ohio State. They're really being seen as like the aggressors and like the bad ones in the scenario.
Wow.
Which is...
People love to hate on Ohio.
I don't know how I feel.
You don't have to feel a certain way. That's okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to a video by Philip Penyango. It's about dancing and playing soccer, or as they would say, football.
This is not your average game of football, but the rules are the same. Except for one small detail, you have to dance at all times. When the match is over, you get points for both goals and your overall dance performance. So, you can actually win a match despite scoring fewer goals than your opponent.
This looks so insane in the video. Just imagine someone's doing the worm at some point who doesn't have the soccer ball just so they could be dancing on the field. Like, it's really a crazy sight.
Yeah, I mean, I love this idea. I feel like I would do... This is also one of these times that I'm so annoyed that I have groups of friends that won't download TikTok because my friends from Austin, I feel like this would be our sport.
Yeah, you would definitely be playing this together.
Because
I'll play with you.
A lot of them played intramural soccer when we were in grad school. And I just feel like we could add so many dance moves. We could do so much.
Yeah,
I would love
this
it
is great.
so much. I love any sport that is less sport and more expression.
And that brings us to the end of the pod.
And
thank you all for listening. It's been a lovely week in TikTok. And thank you, Catalina.
And thank you, Dina. And I look forward to recording our podcast on your wedding day.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye!